It is close to the end, everyone. We are joined with all of our seniors here at the Student Media Podcast as we are on the eve of graduation. And with me today, I got Jake Hasselbrock, Evan Brown, Michaela Zeich, Rody Farr, and of course, the one and only Deacon Tuttle, who is always with me every single week. We've been grinding this thing out. Deacon, how are you feeling as we've got, this great talent sitting with us today? I want to get your thoughts real quick before I move on, ask these guys a couple questions about their thoughts on kind of what seems like a little bit of a scary but exciting thing that we're all kind of dealing with that starts after tomorrow, realistically.
I feel fantastic. I'm excited to talk about this issue and celebrate all the hard work everybody did this spring. So there's a cover right there. Got some of our
Look at that
team
right
there.
there. It's those
We got
two.
what?
It's those two right there.
Those two right there. They'll introduce themselves, again, reintroduce. But yeah, we got the round table and not pizza people, so that's kind of fun. I missed that. Yeah, I'm just ready to talk about all this stuff. Feeling good. It's a good way to end the quarter off, and I'm
Yeah,
just looking forward to some rest. I'm very tired.
couldn't agree more with you there. I've got like a week off, so take it and run with it. But this is crazy because we've never had this many people sitting down with us at once, and it's intimidating because I've got all these eyes looking at me as I'm talking, even though we're not even in person. And then I know Michaela knows. And then I'm nervous because it's like people are, if they start stepping on each other, do I have to intervene and do I have to jump in there? But as hosts, I shouldn't even be saying that out loud. So I'm going to turn the mic on them and just be like, guys, graduation is tomorrow. And I talked to you before a little bit about if you've got summer plans to still do school stuff and stuff like that. Some of you are just done after tomorrow. Some of you may not be. What are your thoughts on that? And just how are you feeling? Like what is the overall? Are you emotional? Do you feel relieved? Do you feel stressed about things in the future? Just we could go down the line. I'll start with you, Jake. How are you feeling with graduation being tomorrow?
It feels crazy, and it doesn't feel real because, like you said, I mean, it's been the majority of my life that I've been in school and been worrying about assignments and tests and all that. And then for me, I mean, college has been no easy road. This is my 6th year of undergrad, so it took me a couple extra years to make it through. So it just felt really never ending. And even yesterday, after I took my last final, it was like a huge weight, but still doesn't even feel real.
Right.
But that big weight off still, like I'm starting to conceptualize it. I don't think it'll really hit until I'm literally walking across the stage, but man, it's crazy. And yeah, I don't have summer classes, so I'm done after tomorrow. I'm out. Ellensburg's gone.
Yep. Ellensburg is gone. Evan, what about you, brother?
Yeah, I think I feel relieved, but also not relieved. So like once I get my like 2 classes that I have remaining done today, I think I'll start to feel better.
Yeah, I feel like that
the end is in sight. Yeah, like the end is in sight, but it's also not in sight because I gotta like focus on these classes that I can't focus on tomorrow yet. Once I'm done with those classes, I think all the priorities will drop and I'll just be like, finally. And then summer, I'm taking a yoga class, but then also I have an internship with Rody. Me and Rody are gonna be in athletics, so that's gonna be pretty
high. Look at that.
The designers are making their way to the athletics department. Love to see
it.
Yes,
sir.
Michaela, you said you were kind of in the same boat as Evan with a couple projects you got to finish up today. So does that kind of throw a kink in the emotions a little bit?
A little bit. Yeah, we are our teachers gave us until the last day to work on assignments and our projects, and I will take until the last day. But other than that, I have the sort of opposite problem that Jake has, where I've been here for like 2 years. And so it feels like I haven't been here at all. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm already leaving? I just started. So it's a little emotional, like already saying goodbye, because I'm also like really young and I'm like, maybe I did this a little too fast because I'm like just 20. But I'm excited to start my internship. I'm leaving Ellensburg, unlike the other two designers here, and I'm heading off to Spokane. So I'm
Nice.
kind of excited about that.
What's that internship looking like?
So I'm just gonna be working, well, interning at a design agency in Spokane. They're called a Contrast Design Studio. It's a pretty small design agency. It's like 6 people. So kind of surprised they were even willing to take me as an intern.
That's great news.
Oh,
Oh, you-
thank you.
You've got the portfolio to show it. I mean, look at how many Pulse magazines that collectively this group has worked on. This specifically the 3 designers, So I think they know what they're getting, and it seems like you're gonna kill it over there. So best of luck to you with that.
Thank you.
Brody, what about you, man? How you feeling?
I mean, I'm kind of in a similar boat where it's just like I still got an assignment to finish up, and it doesn't feel real that commencement graduation is tomorrow. Everything's just been so hectic. I feel like I'm just getting one thing done, and then I got to get on to the next one and I get that finished, and then go this place, go there. I'm just all over, all over. But it does feel pretty surreal anytime that I do finish assignment and turn that in. Just like that's the last assignment for this class, and like for in this area, whether it's a discussion board or it's just like a little submission link. And I don't know, it's a weird feeling because it hasn't fully hit me yet that that's like actually the last time that I'm going to be doing that. Yeah, but I'm excited for the internship. I'm excited to go into the athletics department. It's something new for me. And I think it'll be a very, very good opportunity.
I don't know
Was
about you
everybody
guys.
talking about this?
Oh, here we go.
There we go. Sorry, I did it.
Sorry, Deacon.
I
go
did
ahead.
it. It was my fault. I
Go
don't
ahead,
know about you
Deacon.
guys, but I am really excited to delete Canvas off
Yo, me
my
too.
phone.
100%.
That's like what I'm the most pumped for. The moment I
even
get to
think
hit
of that.
delete on that thing, that's when it's official.
I still
That's
got
a-
6 more months of that.
I was just saying, I can't wait to be sitting, like, enjoying my weekends and not having Canvas notifications pop up on my phone to just have to worry about. Like, I'll be, come fall time, when you be starting school again, I'll be sitting on my couch watching football all Sunday, and it'll just be me and my phone, not me and my phone and my laptop with 3 assignments on it. And I can't. Ugh, that puts me in heaven right there.
Mm-hmm.
Deacon, jump on it. What were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say everybody saying this is like making me have that same realization that I'm gonna be done with school here at the end of fall, and I'm like, I've been doing. Jake said that he's been doing school his whole life, and I'm like, so have I. That's a really weird thing to think about, and I just haven't processed any of that. Like I'm like, oh, college is the last for me most likely. I don't think I'm gonna do anything past my undergrad, so it's just very, very strange feeling.
But college is weird like that because it doesn't build up to the end like how it felt like it did in high school. In high school there was like you had your finals week, and then there was just all these kind of like celebratory things for the students, and like kind almost like just a week of telling, like, hey, you guys are done, we're gonna celebrate you, and then you're gonna move on to the next thing. Whereas college, it's like, turn this in, you're turning this in, you're turning this in, you're working on this project, you have to go here, meet with this person, and then submit this link, and oh my God, I just finished school. Like, that was it. It's over. I submitted my last assignment, and then they didn't give you a dinner at the end. They didn't give you a thing for your parents to come and do all this and that other than graduation. It's like, that was it. I guess I am a college graduate now. So it's weird. They don't give it time to like sink in, but maybe it's for the best. Maybe it's just because you need to get moving on the next step. Who knows? It's not me. I don't know. But
Did anybody have any high school retreats here?
a retreat?
Yeah, I had like a going away. They were like, yeah, if you guys want this like 24-hour retreat, come on. It was fun.
I think.
Guys,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was class of 2020, so I had nothing.
Yeah.
No, my retreat was not being at school. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's tough. That's
kind
tough.
of had one. It's okay. I did not really like high school anyway, so.
Oh, there you go.
My high school, other classes like before my class did do that sort of thing. But my class's ASB just wasn't awesome with money. So they had no
Jeez.
money to do anything. So they're just like, yeah, I guess we just get to be done. Hooray. I was like, I guess I'll take that.
Our retreat was just like going down to Seattle for the day, like a day where the seniors all just got to go to Seattle because there's only, like 25 of us. So they could afford to let us go on a day trip to Seattle and just go walk around the city for a day and spend our own money and crap. But that's about it. Unless it was outside of school organized, the school itself, that was like the only thing we got from the school itself. But yeah, I don't see Central doing that. What's up with that? Or the student media department doing that.
Nope.
Where's our day trip to Seattle?
Yeah, come on.
All right, moving on from the little bit of the emotional stuff here with graduation being tomorrow. The final issue of Pulse came out, and this is going, like I said, the final issue that collectively everyone worked on. And I'm gonna say everyone excluding me because I didn't really work on it, but everyone's got Evan, got one with you. I saw you turn around and
Gotta
look
have
for
them ready.
I just got some plants out here, bro.
There you go.
So talking about the issue a little bit, like, I guess just as like actual reflection on Pulse itself, what is everyone's just thoughts and everything that, like, here's my question. What is the biggest takeaway that you had from working on Pulse for as long as each one of you did? And I'll start with Jake. What was your takeaway working with Pulse these last couple of quarters?
I think my biggest takeaway was I wasn't actually expecting to like working at Pulse as much as I did. I mean, I took it because it was a requirement for me as a journalism major in the program. And when I signed up, Jen brought me on as an editor, and I was like, I don't know if I'm qualified for that, but I guess we'll see how this goes. And yeah, then between like all the staff and the other leadership and just everyone there, the way the magazine works, it was all, yeah, just a really cool system. I loved the collaboration, and I think, yeah, being able to see like more of the design process was something that I thought was really cool, and the collaboration there was something that I really liked. And so the biggest takeaway for me is that I feel like it's something that I'll keep my eyes out for opportunities in the future. Like I could see myself working for magazines in the future in my career.
Evan, what about you, man?
Yeah, I think just learning that collaboration is awesome. Just collaborating with my peers. Yeah, like we got the design squad, some really good friends, and they're able to like critique my work as well. And so I just love the collaborative nature of the class, and that has been like a big part of my experience.
For sure. Michaela?
For me, it was learning to make kind of like decisions on my own, like design wise, because I decided to step into the leadership creative director position as someone who is really bad at like making like sure decisions about what I'm gonna do. And so I had to there were a ton of times in the process where I just had to, be like, I just have to go with this. I just have to pick something and choose it and not ask a ton of other people if this is the right decision or if I'm doing it correct. I just have to trust myself. And that was a really difficult process for me.
I agree with you there. I'm also terrible at making set decisions. It drives me crazy. Rody, what about you, man?
Kind of similar to Jake. When I went into Pulse, I kind of just jumped in. I mean, Michaela kept on telling me to join Pulse when she was there spring of 2022. And I went into the fall and I was just like, you know what? I'll try it out. As a designer, I am definitely not one to want to like have restrictions and rules and like format to any of my designs, unless it's coming from my own brain. But I got to design right off the bat several stories that I loved, and I think like a big takeaway from working for Pulse is like just the ability to have creative expression no matter what area of study you're in. It was really cool to see the different voices that each writer had and like how they phrased all their sentences, and then really cool to see the other designers doing what they do and seeing how their own style goes out and is expressed through each spread, and the photographers seeing how like each one of them differ in style as well. Very cool process. And again, like Jake said, I think I could see myself working for some sort of editorial magazine in the future.
I think that was a big standout, was seeing the design, like designers specifically, is you could kind of tell, right? Like after being around you guys for a little while, you could kind of tell whose designs were whose, because you guys each have your own unique style. And that's something that I really started to realize once I realized that there was 3 designers working on the magazine, or at least at any given time, maybe before all you guys were working on the magazine, there was more than 1 designer working on the magazine, because each design is so unique and so different. But at the same time, it links back to probably some of your guys' previous work, and you kind of see the connections there. But that was a takeaway that I saw from the design aspect, at least. Deacon, what about you? Because you worked on the magazine this quarter.
I think it was just really cool. I think I tried, as opposed to other quarters in the past where I was not as much involved in the collaboration aspect. I think this time I was a lot more open to being like, oh, these are, some ideas I have with this, and this is how we could lay this out maybe. And I got to talk to Evan and Rhodey about that. And that was fun for me. And I just wanted to have more of that, me bringing my ideas to the table, as opposed to I'm just going to write this and then, pass it along type of deal. So that was fun for me. And everyone just killed it with all the designs this quarter. I thought it was very, I think in the past I tend to notice more like guiding, like my eyes guiding towards things. And I think in this one, it was just really like simplistic in a great way. Like when I showed it to my friends, they were talking about, oh wow, it's so clear. We don't have any issues like over design. And a lot of the colors were just easy to see too. So that was kind of what I took away from the design in the broad sense,
We want to break it down and get real into it here. I'm going to ask each one of you. I can ask you guys, which one was your favorite story from this issue? That like the end final product, if you had to pick one, what are you going to take away? Which one is going to be the one that you're going to go with? And I can pull up the magazine right here, actually. Just give me a second. Boom. Look at that. We're in business.
Boom. Wait, we want to talk about how we chose the cover image here?
Well, yeah, jump into that. That's good image too. Nice summer vibes right there. And
Okay.
Michaela, like, also want to point out that you are probably the most seen model in the last couple issues. Everyone talks about that, so I had to throw in that joke.
I didn't want to be. Every time, like I was talking to Dylan, like every time he would need someone for a photo shoot, I would say only like call me if I'm your like last option. Okay. Like last option. And yeah, here I am on the cover.
It looks pretty natural to me. I think you know what you're doing. I think you're acting like you don't have that what's the word I'm looking for, Deacon? Like just that aesthetic. How like some people just have that aesthetic to be like, yep, I can do this.
Well, I was gonna say tool in your arsenal, because if that's not like one of your go-tos, it seems like you can do it when it has to be done. So you're able to fill that role. That's great.
Same with Jake though. Jake knows what he's doing here.
Boom.
Oh yeah.
Rocking that stash.
Oh, I know my way around some sunglasses and a visor, man.
All right, Jake, let's go with you. What is the one article or one story that you want to pick as the top dog?
I have to honorable mention my story that I wrote, Booty Blasters on bidets. When Evan pitched that and I ended up with it, I was like, man, I don't know anything about bidets. So it was like a cool experience to do a little research on them and then have a little fun writing that story. And it was just a fun story to see it all come together. The story that I really like in the magazine, I think, is Tales of the Tragedians. I worked on this one with Gunnar, who wrote it. And he just did a really good job with between his interviews and really explaining the process. I think he really captured like the people's stories, each of the actors, and like just laid it out in a nice way that is interesting to read. And then the design I love too, because it's kind of how Deacon was saying, it's so simplistic, but also just so nice and appealing. Like the illustrations are super cool, but it's also, yeah, just simple enough that you're still able to focus on the story, and the pull quotes are all great. Yeah, that one. And like I said, I worked with Gunnar throughout the quarter on it as his editor. So it was one of those where I got to see it progress throughout the whole process. So yeah, I'm like as an editor, yeah, I'm really proud with the way that one turned out. And for Gunnar, like, yeah, shout out to him. He did a great job.
Shout out Gunnar. Michaela, you did these illustrations, right?
Yeah, I did. And so the first time I joined the magazine, which was spring quarter 2022, I did a full like pen illustrated spread called Local Myths. And I love doing that. And I was just trying to find a way that I could do another like, pen or pencil illustration type thing and put it into the magazine. And I think I learned how to actually properly do it this time around. And I was really excited about it.
I couldn't even start to tell you how you would go about that process, because all I could think about is just the technical aspect of taking a physical copy of something that you drew and then putting it onto a digital copy and then uploading it to this, because that's immediately where my brain goes. I don't even think about the fact that you actually had to draw this to begin with, and it looks incredible. But yeah, I don't even that hurts my brain thinking about it. And that props to you, because it looks awesome.
Thank you.
Michaela, I have a quick question for you. When I see the way you illustrate things, it reminds me of like see if you follow me, like Coraline or something like that. Kind of like the whimsical, like kind of creepy, fun nature of things. Like do you have a kind of influence? Any artists that inspire you personally?
Um, I I really wish I had a good answer to this question
Oh, that's okay.
because
I was just curious.
yeah, I actually I don't know. I've just been drawing for a really, really long time. Um, and there is a truck driving past me right now that's really loud. Um,
Yep, me too.
I have been drawing for a really long time, and I think that it's really hard after a certain point to nail down like a source of inspiration, because I've sort of come up with my own style. So I don't know. It's not a very good answer, but thank you.
Well, that's
And
okay.
if
Yeah,
you
you'll inspire
if
other
you want
people.
to oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I try my best. If you want to know like the actual process of how I got those into there, let me know if you want me to explain it, because it's actually really simple.
Sweet.
Okay. That actually could come in handy later and on some stuff that I'm thinking about, so I might have to. But while we're on you, what about you, Michaela? What's your top dog?
Oh, I mean, now that we're on this one, I am really proud of the way that this one turned out. And I enjoyed reading it a lot when I was designing it, because I don't know, I was really stressed coming into Tales of the Tragedians, because those 3 photos that are there right now are pretty much the 3 photos that I got for the story.
Mhm.
And so I was like, how am I gonna make this look nice with only like 3 photos and like 6 pages? So I was really stressed, and I'm just proud of the way that it turned out. And there's this thing in design called like a clothesline, um, that I was actually able to nicely implement into this design. It's like it's like one it's like a line, an implied sort of line that goes all the way through your design. So if you see like the top of the text and like the bottom of Kaylin White's image, all sort of like lines up
Yeah.
pretty well throughout the spreads. So I mean, the last page is a little bit higher, but let's ignore that. For the most part, it all lines up pretty decently. And
I
so,
see. It's like from here, the top of this text, and then you flip the page. It's still that same
Oh,
flowing
wow.
motion kind of throughout here.
yeah, I just wanted to keep, sort of a little bit and of consistency. And that's one of the things that like is makes a design really good, but you don't know why it's good, Like you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I enjoy looking at this, but I don't know why I enjoy looking at this.
There's actual terminology and actual psychological things behind why we enjoy looking at it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
The more you know.
Yeah.
All right, Evan, what about you? I'm
I
flipping it
had
to
a
you.
hard time. I had a hard time coming to my answer. No, I'm just kidding. 1,000% booty blasters, bro. Come on. Page
All right.
78 to 80,
All
baby.
right.
Come on.
The actual back of the magazine for some reason.
I was shocked. I was shocked when I saw these pictures in class. I was
Yeah.
rolling.
Yeah. This is my artistic peak, so like I got to creative direct this this photo shoot. And so I told our model, I was like, I want to see thrill and agony. And then he was just like, let's ride. So our model was great, bro. He's Broncos country, let's ride.
Tell me about this part of the design, these white lines here. Is that supposed to be like the plumbing or water
those are some
lines?
pipes. Those are some pipes
Okay.
and water lines, yeah.
See, I'm working with you. I know what you're doing here. I can see it.
Yes, sir.
I just want to double check to make sure. This story was I don't know how I felt about it. I like, as I looked at it, I was like, that's funny, but what's the point? And then I read it and I was like, all right, that's funny. I get the point now.
Let's go.
So
That's awesome.
you turn the page on me, and I do not have a bidet, so that's unfortunate. I don't know many people who do.
Yeah, bro, we got to start this thing in Ellensburg of like people getting bidets. I have one at my house, so we just gotta continue that trend, of more people getting them.
Maybe they'll install them in the dorms starting next year.
Imagine. Oh
Your
my gosh,
magazine, the magazine's gonna blow up.
man.
All right, Rody, it's time.
Yeah, I'm gonna divide it into the story and the design because I actually, if I were to pick my favorite story, it might be Faces Behind the Farms. I think really did a great job at writing this entire story. It was really cool. Any day in the life or anything where you get to kind of read behind the scenes of something that goes on that you don't really take too much notice to is very interesting. And I thoroughly enjoyed reading this entire story. And also Michaela did a killer job at doing the illustrations and spread throughout each page. As far as design, I'd have to say AI. I really, really like this one that I did. I felt like I had a lot of room to play, keeping it kind of minimalistic. And it also kind of, for me personally, was a callback to my first spread that I did for energy drinks in the fall, because both of them have extremely harsh contrast and alternate the white to black and back and forth. Also, just the amount of playfulness that I got to experiment with this design was very fun. I was just, all the shapes that you see on the design, it was just me messing around, seeing what worked, and throwing it into the spread and then calling it good.
I think how like just the black and white contrasts and how vague the shapes are, and there's not a lot going on, it makes it feel kind of eerie. Is that what you were going for?
I was thinking.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it makes you think of just like a robotic controlled, just doom and gloom from robots is what I think when I look at this. Because it's so AI kind of freaks me out. I was telling Evan about this the other day. I mean, like, joke's gonna be on him when he's got his account linked to Chat GBT, and then they grow a mind of their own and they take his identity and they become Evan himself.
Yeah.
I won't give in.
I think with the main thing for the shapes here was I really wanted to express just the unknown that AI has. And that's really just the contrast between like solid shapes and the white, just like that, I guess, real life stuff, and then the blurred shapes with the black background is the unknown, and we go into all the thinking process for this design. But yeah, very fun to conceptualize as well.
I think it works great.
Thank you.
Deacon,
Appreciate it.
Deacon, it's your turn. You're on the stage now.
I don't know. I wanted to shout out. Well, actually, I like the Woolport story. Let's go. Can we go to that? I
Look at
love.
how happy he is.
I know he looks so happy in all these, and I like a picture of him with a tree too. I think that was pretty funny. He looks so happy with it.
Hugging a tree.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I don't know. I really like the colors and how vibrant, upbeat it is. I think like usually when we think of like our like school president, it would be like in announcements or things like this. But it was cool to see like a behind the scenes and just hearing about his life and his day to day stuff. And I don't know, it just seemed super chipper, which I think is kind of what this magazine is going for in some ways, as opposed to some of our other medias, which is like more formal. I think Pulse strikes a great balance between um, being like more personable in that fashion. So just lots of variety in the design here, which I thought was really cool. And I know a lot of other people that I've given the magazine to have just shouted out this story in particular, just saying that was really cool that they did that. So yeah.
Michaela, I have a question for you on the design aspect of this. How do you decide on what colors to land on, like whenever you're picking? Because it's kind of like a greenish yellow, and that kind of looks like a little bit of a dark blue or a purple. How do you how do you land on those two colors to work together? Because I know whenever I'm having to pick colors for anything, it takes me a very long time, and I always end up just settling with a really generic color instead of going kind of bold. And I would say that this yellow color is pretty bold and it works.
Thank you. So what I did is, if you go back to that first page,
Are you gonna say you matched it with the grass?
yep, exactly.
Yep.
You already know what I did.
Yep.
That's what I do like 90% of the time when I have the photos that I'm working with, and I have to figure out colors that are gonna go along with it. And then the blue, I'm pretty sure it's just is it the no, it's not the opposite color. Wait, I don't know. I don't know how I landed on the blue. I'll do like an opposite, like a contrasting color, which this is very contrasting, but it's not, it's like complete opposite. So I don't know how I landed on the blue. I think it's just what came to mind naturally, because Seahawks. I'm looking at the flag behind you, man. That color combination works. It's great, and there's a reason why it works. And I think it just sort of came to my mind immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always wondered about that. Especially from a designer's point of view, is how they pick what colors to use. If it doesn't, for this one, it works obviously because you said it matches with the grass, so there's your source of inspiration. But sometimes it's like they'll just be a random color that they decide to go with. Like for when you guys talked about the energy drink story, you guys had that really just like kind of vibrant, like shiny, or not shiny, but just like neon blue, like that greenish blue color that you used, and it really stood out. So it's like, I don't know how you guys settle on that, and even how you can decide on which one to stick with for the whole story, because I jump back and forth all the time. I'm not designing stories though. I'm not gonna jump into what like, let's say I'm designing a car or something on Rocket League, right? I can never decide what color I want to use, and that's not as important as this, but there's my link to what you guys are doing.
But
You're a designer.
I had no time to work on this spread. This is a really, really last minute one. I don't know if you guys know about that, but I got it I got the story like 4 days before I had to like turn the magazine into print. And so I did not have time to go back and forth on the color palette. That kind of helped. I kind of just had to pick it and just go with it and just get this design done because I had no time.
Got it. Future reference, Evan, don't ask about the color palette because that's not the important part.
It's important. I don't know. I was really proud of the way that it turned out. I don't know. I thought it was a lot brighter than what I usually do. So I am glad that that's catching people's attention.
Yeah, I think it matters. I think it matters. All right, we're coming down to the end of it here. I just want to get everyone's final thoughts. You know, like if we're gonna leave it off on this, we're all seniors. We're walking out on this moment here with Pulse, because realistically, this is the last Pulse thing that you guys are gonna be doing, if you really think about it. So I just want to get, let's get a final thought and maybe just something that you have to say to anyone who might be coming through this, or just any words of encouragement for any aspect of life is what I'd like to leave it off. Something positive. So Jake, what are your final words as you're heading out here? You're heading out into the real world.
Oh man. I mean, with Pulse, like to people, I'd say coming into student media, or I guess really anything with school, like don't be afraid to try it. Because like I said, I took Pulse as a requirement and ended up sticking with it throughout the full year because it was something that I found I really enjoyed, and could take pride in. Like these are some of the projects in school that I think I'm most proud of, to be able to show to people, or just to look at for myself. I'm like, this is a really cool thing that I've gotten to do. So yeah, just go for it. And by the same token, like, don't give up on yourself on anything, because that's one of my biggest takeaways from my college experience. Like I said, it's taken me 6 years to get my undergrad degree. I call them 6 freshman years. But it's taken a while, and there have been times where I didn't think I was going to make it. There have been times where I thought I'd be better off just giving up, and there's also times where I feel kind of ashamed that it's like, yeah, it took me 6 years to get a 4-year degree, but it shows that I'm not giving up on myself. I'm gonna persevere, and now that I'm at the end of that, I'm like, it's all paid off. That weightlifting is so much sweeter, just knowing that I've made it through, and I've not given up on myself. And now I have this next phase of life to move on to. And yeah, just am able to take pride in all of it.
For sure, man. Hey, congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Let's
Thank
clap.
you.
Let's clap it up for Jake here. That is awesome,
Thank you,
man.
guys.
All right, Evan, what about you, dude?
Yeah, I honestly think just like the time with your peers is so short. Like, you're gonna be able to take your degree with you, but like most of the people, you're not gonna be. And so yeah, I've like really enjoyed the time in the program, and I think a lot of us designers have like exclaimed like we wish we had more time together. Like we got time in Pulse, we got all this time together this year, and so just like cherishing that, and, like sitting in that. But yeah, like start early if you can, and if you can start your junior year of just like hanging out with your peers, like that would be a lot better for you.
For sure. Michaela?
I really like what Jake said about not being afraid to just like try things out, because the whole process of me signing up for this, um, I don't know. I thought that I was gonna be terrible. I thought that I was, you know. And then when Katie Joe, like the previous creative director, was like, I think that you should be the next creative director. It was like, somebody believes in me. That's really weird. So I just try things even if you think you're gonna suck at it, because you might not. Uh, I think I did decently well. I mean, I look back at the magazine and I definitely think there are way better creative directors than I was, but I didn't. Nothing crashed and burned, so just trying things. That's kind of what the whole graphic design program was like for me, because like every class we're just trying to design something new. I know my fellow designers understand what I'm talking about, but we one moment we'll be like, so you're learning how to design an app now, and then now you're just gonna have to figure out how to make a book cover and like stuff like that. So that's kind of what uh, my whole education has been like here.
Working on the fly. I feel like that's how most of these programs are at Central have been. But it's good for all the experience, right? It's like you said, it's just really diverse. So I think as much as it sucks in the moment, I think it kind of helps in the long run. But that's just my takeaway from it, because it's kind of the same thing with all the student media stuff that we have to do. You have to write for the Observer, you have to write for Pulse, you have to do CNW, you have to internship, all these sort of things. But it's like, I guess it's just their way of saying like, we're preparing you for everything to come, or saying we're trying to prepare you, because nothing can prepare. But what are you gonna do? All right, Rody, what about you, man?
I'd say just keep your eyes peeled for opportunities. I've been enrolled in Central for 5 years, and I unfortunately was only aware of polls and like in spring of 2022. And so it was really just like only 1 year where I was invested into this like media and student media on campus. And yeah, I'd say keep your eyes peeled for those opportunities. And if you think that if you want to try it out, take that leap of faith. And um, it might be a ton of work, with all the being in the graphic design major and doing graphic design for Pulse. It's a lot of design. It's a lot of just working in all the Adobe suite and nonstop drawing, nonstop typing, nonstop just adjusting all the layout. But it's also super refreshing, doing something completely outside of the program and being able to experiment with all the skills that you've gained over the past several years in that program. And as well as the rewarding feeling that you get when you get to hold the issue that you've worked on and then spread it around campus and then see people reading the issue and hearing comments and compliments about the issue is just a very reassuring and very rewarding feeling that you really can't get anywhere else.
For sure. Well, I just want to say big congratulations to you guys. All the work you put in this magazine, you guys always killed it. It's been fun working with you guys. I'll say that. Even though Deacon and I were kind of in the corner doing our own little thing over there. Deacon was a little more integrated into the process than I was. But just from my point of view, all the work that you guys put in, it was awesome seeing all the stuff that you guys pumped out every single issue. So big round of applause to you guys, and congratulations on graduation. Just best of luck in the future, just make the most of it. And I also want to give a shout out to Deacon, because Deacon's going to be he's taking over the reins here, the podcast. So he's going to be big time host next quarter. So big shout out to Deacon. Round of applause for Deacon.
Thank you. It's going to be a hard act to follow, but he's been, he kind of sucks actually. No,
I agree completely.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it a lot. Evan and I have done this for at least over 20 episodes now. I don't know what the exact number is, but he's probably got it over there somewhere.
I could scroll down on my Xbox and look, but I'm not going to waste any more time.
Yeah, well, we'll do a special send off to you though. But we've had a lot of guests on, and some of you guys have been on before, and and then yeah, it's just it's a big moment. So everybody's got exciting opportunities in the future, and I don't know, Polson as well as our other student media, it's just a really cool opportunity to show how, like Rody, you said, this is like something you just found out about a year ago, but you always had an interest in that kind of thing. And Michaela, you can bring your illustrations and other passions into the craft as well. And yeah, I'm sure the same thing goes for the rest of you guys too. You guys find your own little niches, and Evan and I can, be stooges on the mic and bring this whole thing together and have fun and laugh, and then get to celebrate, like everybody coming together for this kind of stuff. And oh, there goes my laptop. But yeah, no, it's just really cool, and looking forward to, maybe we can bring on some of you guys in the future and then get an update on where you guys are at and talk to some alum, because it's always going to be a student media family. There we go.
Yep. Once you guys are all millionaires, we'll come on and talk to you guys about your lavish lifestyles, and Evan's gonna have a bidet in every bathroom. And
Yep.
oh my God. Oh, it's time to end it right now. End this. All right.
been
Thank
a
you
long
guys for
week.
your time. I really appreciate it. The Student Media Podcast signing off. Hey, congratulations, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow at the ceremony.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
see you tomorrow.
Yep. Thank you guys.